Hello YouTube! How's everybody doing tonight? Just getting things set up. Got the cameras working tonight for a change, which is great. Good news there. Just waiting for people to roll on in. Surprised Ken ain't in here yet. He must be lagging behind tonight. Well, about that? Or he could be watching the ad. That could be. That always helps out. People watching the ads definitely helps out. Got my coffee tonight. Anybody watching? The connection's not too awful bad. It's not great, but it's 10.91 megabits per second download and 0.50 upload, which is not that great, but for us it seems to be okay. It doesn't help with the connection like I would like it to. I'd like to have a lot faster upload, which I think would make a huge difference. Maybe someday we'll get cable, or when they get those new satellites up in orbit that are only like 100 miles off the surface, then maybe we'll all get some way better satellite connections. Of course, that'll improve the streams by a ton, by a lot, hopefully. That's what they say. They say we'll get fantastic pings even. People that do gaming, they'll be able to game using satellite internet, which is a whole different ball game for sure, because nobody with satellite type of an internet, HughesNet, Viasat, or whatever, they don't get a good connection. You're not feeling the tonight, but I will just listen for a few. Not feeling good tonight, Raycon? Sorry to hear that, buddy. What's wrong? Hey Ken, how you doing, buddy? You see, I got the camera working tonight with no problem. Something weird was last night. It was weird, really weird. In fact, it really ticked me off. Did you eat something bad there, Recon, or something, or just got a cold or something? Yeah, I've been actually getting a little bit more sleep for the last couple of days or so, but I still feel kind of tired at night though. But I did do that little music video, which I really wasn't really happy with it, but I posted it anyway because I wanted to post something. I know it wasn't that great, but I should have just put a camera up, did a better shot of it, recorded it, not live, but recorded it, edited it, and then uploaded it, and it would have been way better. But I was kind of in a hurry to put something online, so it didn't come out that well. I should, and I know better too. That's the sad part. I know better. I take it you've been home all day, Recon, huh? I saw you did respond to the upload I put up. But I almost did a live stream today, this morning. Almost. You hit 50 on the new $10 earlier, but you gambled most of it back. I know what that's like, buddy. I know what that's like. Yep, and many times I hit a decent win and put it right back in. Of course, you're hoping you'll hit that real big one. Never do, but you can't hit if you don't play, you can't win. That's the way you look at it. Nobody likes to lose, but we all do. Got coffee today, Ken. Got the Twinkie. And when I run out of coffee, I got something else. I'm prepared. I started making changes some last night, doing some of the graphic stuff. That's why I went ahead and shut down. I know Recon, you thought it was a bit early, but according to my timer, we was on an hour. But you know, I know we weren't quite working fully functional by then, probably, but it was still an hour. But I wanted to get going on the graphics. I knew it was going to be a lot of work. Just changing the name was a lot of work. It really was. It was kind of a pain in the butt. But I still got a lot more I want to do on it. But it's functioning now. The name's been changed, so it'll work. Weak and tired, huh? That's a sure sign of old age. Welcome to the old age club. You're getting there. Won't be long. If I walked 2 miles, Recon, you'd be dialing 911 on your phone. Most likely. But I don't know. I probably could. If I really wanted to. I'd probably have to stop pretty often, but I could walk 2 miles if I absolutely had to. Did you win all that today, Ken? Holy Moses. Nice. Well, now you can join my membership. There you go. All right. I mean, the new one I guess got up on YouTube here. You can join that one. That would be great. I think I'm going to add some more benefits to that too, because I want it to be more beneficial than even Patreon. Patreon's only $1, but these cost more, so I want to add more to them. I'll probably add a critiquing thing where people do paintings or whatever. I'll critique them for them and stuff and whatever. Maybe help them with figuring out a resale value, stuff like that. Stuff that new artists have a big problem with. Recon inspired you, huh? Well, he definitely inspired you for the right day and the right time. Because you definitely hit good. Nice. Fantastic. I'm like Recon. I did a few today, small ones, but I didn't get much. I got about a third back. Not very well. I tell you what, people don't think it's true. Recon may agree with me, I don't know, but I think winning on a crossword is a lot more probable for some reason than the regular tickets. If you take a $10 ticket that's just a regular numbers ticket and put it beside a crosswords, I always win more on crosswords and more often than on a regular $10 ticket, for instance, or a $5 one. I still win more on the crosswords. I can move the mic closer. I moved it away. Is that better? Or I can turn it up more if I need to. Is that better or not? If not, I can turn it up. It's on automatic volume, but I'll adjust it. There, how's that? Is that better? I turned it up to about 3/4. Is that better? Or you need me to turn it up some more? Turn it up a little bit. I turned it up to 3/4. I'll turn it up some more. No problem. Okay, how's that? I'm ready. I'm going all the way up with my meter. That should be pretty loud right there. That's better for you, Ken? That better for you, Recon? Put it over here more. My mic is directional, so I have to make sure that it's pointing toward me, right at me. But usually when it's back off, you guys hear me okay. I'm not sure why you're not today, but it may be just me not talking so loud. I don't know. Must be in the coffee. I got lucky. There wasn't any coffee. I went in the house to get the rest of a soda I had started earlier. Actually, I had the soda out here. I went in to get me a Twinkie, something to snack on. I walks in, and my wife evidently had decided to make a pot. It was almost half done, so I waited for it and grabbed a cup. Hey, Caitlin, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad you got on. Now if I can get Caitlin to join as a member. I haven't been able to get any of my grandkids to join. She's been having a rough time at work lately, I hear. I think she's getting tired of her new manager. Guys, we've been around for a long time. Sometimes you get a new manager and they're kind of new to the job, or they get a new place they go to. They got to exert their authority over everybody, Oh, you got your desk clean? That's good. Yep, I know that, Recon. I know how that works. Believe me. I can't wait to hit my first 100 on YouTube, so they'll send it to me. It ain't much, but it definitely helps. I need to get some more canvas too, so that'll help for that. Yeah, I heard about that, Caitlin. That's terrible. Yeah, I mean, you were right when you turned it down for years and not becoming one. But I mean, I understand why. I mean, I probably would have done the same thing because it's more money for one thing. You get more hours, you get more money. But you're also the scapegoat. When something goes wrong, you're the scapegoat. The regular employees, they're not the scapegoat. They don't usually get the headaches from the regional offices and the main offices and whatever. It's not their responsibility to take all that heat. But it can make decent money too. I mean. I mean, if you became a store manager for a while, I mean, you'd get a really nice. From what I hear, you'd get a really decent salary, but you'd still be walking on pins and needles. But you are now anyway, so it makes no difference. Yeah, well, you can always talk to the regional office about that, whether he likes it or not, and let him know. You feel like you're being discriminated against because you're recruited by Brandon. Yeah, she probably could be the new manager if she wanted to at some point. Of course, from what she's seen, may not want to. But then again, she could always go to a different store. But with the money the managers make, and if she gets a license, then she could do it. Really, the one that liked you before doesn't like you now? That's too bad. That's too bad because she was so tickled that you actually took the assistant manager's job. She works in a family dollar store. She's been there for like 5 or 6 years. Yeah. Well, I guess if you're really concerned about things, I mean, you can always step down from a manager's job. And if they ask you why, tell them why. Tell them you don't want to be discriminated against because you were hired by Brandon or he helped you get the job or whatever. Management's it's a tough job. I did most of my life. I worked in management, and it's a tough job. But if you want to make decent money, that's what you kind of have to do if you want to do it. You want to make the money. I've actually stepped down from management before myself because of similar reasons. Just there was just too much bull crap that was aimed at the management, and I've actually just stepped down as a regular employee. I took a pay cut doing it, but I didn't have to deal with all the bull crap until I found another job. Then I just found another job. Well, you'll find, with like any job, there's rough times, there's good times, there's great times, there's bad times. It kind of goes into a cycle. And you've been there long enough that you've seen many different managers as it is. And there's always a good probability that that manager may be gone next week. You never know. You know, you just never know. And then you may get someone that's way better. It is tough working with family though, especially brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws and stuff like that because, you know, they're related and it does make it a bit tougher. I've worked with your grandmother before, and it was tough being the boss with your grandmother. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of responsibility, Recon. I always found it was just hard to be in management and have my relatives working for me. It's always because you're related, they think they can get away with stuff, or they don't have to do something or make their own decisions or whatever. Take it upon themselves to uh, tell other people what to do that they shouldn't be telling them, because they turn around and go, "Well, so and so is my brother-in-law or whatever, father-in-law or whatever." You never know. That's what they say. But hopefully it'll get better, Caitlin. Boy, our neighbor's got some loud music on tonight. Must be having a party or something. I can hear it right through the door here. Be right back, guys. I'm gonna turn my air up a little bit, so it's a bit warm in here still. Alrighty, I'm back. I've been hoping we'd get some more people in here lately. I wish I had the other phone. I'd text Trinity and maybe Brad and a few other people and try to get some more people on here. I should have screamed at Nancy when she was outside earlier and told her to get on. But let me tell you a little secret, Caitlin. They never appreciate it. A company that you work for, their employees are a dime a dozen. And they're never going to really show you appreciation. They're just not going to. So once you get that square in your mind, you'll be fine. They won't really appreciate it. Now, your immediate manager, he may show you some appreciation, but the company themselves, they don't really appreciate their employees. They really don't. They're after one thing, making money. They really don't care about you, what you're doing, what you're not doing. They don't really care. They don't care about your family, any of that. They just want to make money. And that's just the way the industrial area is in this country. They just care about making the money. The days are gone when companies really cared about their employees. They used to at one time back in the 50s and the 60s, and even maybe in the 70s, they cared some about their employees. But nowadays, I don't really see where they really care that much about them. Yeah, when you get into corporate America or any kind of big business, there's a lot of jealousy. There's always going to be finger pointing, people saying, I deserve that job more than they did, or I got more experience than they do, or whatever. I mean, if you're in management, I guarantee you employees are talking about you one way or another. They may like you to your face, but a lot of times behind your back, it's a total different thing. You know, sometimes they can put on a good show of whether they really care about you or not, too. But you know, I mean, they want emergency contact lists. Probably not so much to benefit them, benefit you as benefit them. So if they want to open back up, they can get a hold of somebody. That's really why they want the emergency contact information, so they can get you back to work. I'd be surprised if anyone actually did come to check on you. But you never know. It's possible the manager themselves might care enough to check on you. Who knows? But yeah, a lot of companies like we kind of like that. Once people have been there for a long, long time, you don't really have to say a whole lot. Just check on them and make sure things are being production's being done and the bookwork's being done, the paperwork and all that baloney. But you don't have anything to lose, Caitlin. I mean, where you're working right now, you're gaining experience. And even though it's tough losing the manager you liked and you're getting new management and whatever, you're still gaining some valuable experience as an assistant manager. That looks good on a resume. And so once you got that management experience, it opens up other doors. So if you ever lose your job there, you decide you want to leave, you can put that on your resume. Because if you're an assistant manager, you can apply for a manager's job elsewhere. Doesn't have to be the same company or even one like it. It could be another company. Handling people that's the key. It's how you handle people. And that's where a lot of managers have a problem where they don't know how to handle people very well. I've seen that with a lot of management people. They just don't know how to handle them. When I was younger, I wasn't really good at handling people either. I just wanted to order everybody around, tell everybody what to get to do this, do that, do this, do that, whatever. And I found out from the reaction of the people that wasn't the right way to do it. So I had to relearn myself how to properly manage people and not piss them off. Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't have a bit of a problem getting another job. I'm sure you could do stocking and whatever if you wanted to. But I'm not sure how Walmart's set up. You know, they may require you to do register a certain amount of time and stocking another amount of time or whatever, or inventory, which is always going to be part of something like Walmart inventory, um, and stuff like that. Cleaning. Wow. 500 feet in extremely cold water, huh? Huh. Is that supposed to, I don't know, clear it out as far as any kind of a nuclear residue or something? Yeah, I understand about that, Recon. Yeah, I always hated doing inventory. It's boring. In fact, when I worked for Gilchrist Building Supply for years, we had inventory once a year. I absolutely hated it. I hated it. And we had to count every nut and bolt and plumbing fittings. I mean, it was horrible. It was just tiring to me and boring. So actually, what it was is boring. Sitting here just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it was just boring. And it took days, maybe even a week, to do the whole store because it was a big store. And we'd have to stay late at night to do inventory till like midnight or so. Then come back in at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was horrible. Wow. Huh. So it stays there forever, huh? Huh. That's what I need, a little nuclear energy. Oh, well, then it's not so bad for you then. So, yeah, if you had to count every single item, that would be really boring. And we actually did inventory when the store was open, which made it even harder. So, I mean, then we had people, including me. I was one of the unlucky ones that had to work in the office too to input the inventory and correct the inventory, and then to do a profit like a loss sheet, man. If there was a loss in inventory and all that stuff, ah, pain in the butt. Welcome back, Ken. What made it hard for us, a lot of times we had stuff that didn't have a part number or stock number or whatever. We had to actually, when we got something that we didn't have a stock number for, we had to make one up basically. And the problem was when you sold it, a lot of people didn't know what the heck the number was unless we had to make sure it was tagged. But if the tag got lost, then it's kind of floating around in limbo. Then you sell it and just use a miscellaneous type of entry on it. The inventory still shows it's there, which is wrong. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised that he'd tell you that. Like I said, they don't really care about your real life. They just want to get the work done. Yeah, they don't care about what's important to you. You got to remember that. Only thing they care about is what's important to them in that store. Their priority is always going to be the store and them, not you. You have to remember they don't have feelings. A business does not have feelings. They just have dollar signs. Wow, so you've been around, huh, Recon? Well, I guess the new girl that joined us the other day isn't coming back. Huh, she did subscribe. I'm surprised she hasn't come back. I bet she didn't click that bell for getting all the notifications. And she didn't leave a comment either, so hard for me to write her and tell her to hit that bell. I didn't even put a banner up today. How thoughtless of me not to put a banner up today. Wow. And y'all didn't even remind me how careless I was today. It's pretty sad. My buddies didn't even remind me how careless I was. Okay, well, when you go to, when you see my channel, when you did tonight, go back and look at the channel thing again, where it says subscribe, you should see a bell there somewhere. Well, you may when you leave, yeah, when you leave, I guess you'll see the promotion for it. Beside it, you should see a bell. You gotta click the all on the bell, or you'll never get all the notifications. You gotta hit the all. Oh, there it is, right below me, right where it says my name down below where it shows it. It says Kim Caster Art, blah blah blah. How many subscribers I have subscribed, and it has the join, and right beside it to the right is a bell. You click that bell and make sure it's clicked on all. Otherwise, you won't get notifications because you may have none clicked on it without even realizing it or personalized. You got to click the all. And Ken, we already know that YouTube just doesn't like you. Okay. Now you'll have to get used to that idea. They just don't like you. Ken's had the hardest time. Luckily, Ken knows. Luckily, I have a set time for a live stream, or he'd never make it. He never gets the notifications. Very rarely. Because YouTube does not like Ken at all. They've already proven that. I don't blame you, Recon. I'd be too afraid I'd never get to leave Russia. No, thanks. Yeah, we like you, buddy. Yeah, we like you. It's just YouTube that's got the problem with you. Evidently, somebody from YouTube was in a bar or something, and you didn't buy him a beer. That's all I can say. I don't know. Or a cup of coffee or something. I don't know. I can't for the world let me figure out why you don't get the notices, Ken, because I subscribe to quite a few places and I always get the notices. Always. Sometimes I have to hit the subscribe thing on the bottom, or I have to hit the bell up top. I think it's the bell. Let me see if I can figure it out. Because sometimes it just doesn't show up. Yeah, the bell. Up the very top, you see YouTube across the very top, and you see a little square box there, and then a bell. It has a number there usually. Sometimes I have to hit that one. If that don't do it, I'll go all the way to the bottom where it says subscriptions and hit that one. And then I'll see the notification. Well, your next thing, Caitlin, is you're gonna have to take some time out and get a license. Because whether you go for the management of the store you're in now or not, the next one you go to or the next place you go to work, you're gonna need a license anyway. Because you're gonna have to get a car eventually. It's gonna make life a whole lot easier. When your grandma and I first got married, I mean, I'm sure Ken and Recon can verify what I'm saying is true. I think the first 9 years of our marriage, your grandmother did not have a license and she did not know how to drive. I had to force her to get a license because it made it so hard on me because I was working usually a couple jobs full time. But when I came home, of course, she had nowhere to go anywhere except to walk. And she would walk to the store or whatever. And she had your mother and Uncle Mark, and she had to tag them along too and carry some groceries back if she really wanted some stuff. But when I got home, I'd be exhausted from working. Then I had to load up everybody to go to the store. Back then, we didn't have a washer and dryer. We'd have to go to the laundromat and do a crap load of laundry, um, go shopping for other things and whatever. Or she wanted to go somewhere to visit somebody or mother or something or relatives or whatever. And I was tired all the time. So, you know, it makes things a lot easier when you get your license and, you can drive. I know you probably didn't want to hear that, Caitlin, but it does make a big difference. And this is, believe it or not, I mean, nowadays in time, both husband and wife work nowadays. They have to because of what it costs to live now. And most households with married couples have two vehicles. They have to have two vehicles because both of them work and they both work different hours or whatever or different directions. So they kind of have to have two vehicles. And that's the problem with me and your grandmother. I mean, I had to try to get her to work somehow, or we'd have to make arrangements to get her back and forth to work and whatever because we had one vehicle. And then finally she got a license and was able to get another vehicle. Well, that means that you only get notifications about 30% of the time, Recon. Well, that's simple. Let's do the math. YouTube only likes you 30% of the time. That's all I can say. Case closed. So I guess it's a good thing for you too that we have a set time for live streams. Well, you wouldn't know either. Well, you know the look anyway now. But I really do wish they would fix it so that it was, 100% of the time working for everybody. I really do. I think that probably hurts YouTube as much as it does the creators because people don't show up for the live stream because they don't get a notice. So I think it hurts everybody. And it denies the opportunity for the members of different channels to participate because they didn't get a notice. Of course, Ken, you're late half the time anyway. You're at Taco Bell or wherever getting pizza and whatever. Just 120 on a $5 ticket. All right. There you go. There you go. You've had a good week too. You guys do that. Look at this. My Twinkies. You can see through my Twinkie. Good God. Should I eat this thing or not? It don't even look appetizing at all. Holy Moses. Yeah, I think it was a crossword, Ken. I'm actually surprised Ken and Recon haven't got sick of coming to my channel here. It's usually just us. And we just talk about whatever. Nothing really all that informative. Well, you trader, Recon, you're supposed to be doing just crosswords or bingo. Huh. Well, thank you, Ken. I like you guys too. You guys are like my right and left hand. Not that we have any trolls around anymore, but when we did have a few trolls, I never worried about them with you guys here, so they never bothered me. Well, Caitlin, it could be worse. You could be working in a fast food restaurant. That might actually be even worse than working at the Family Dollar. In a lot of ways, it is. Your grandmother worked in one a lot of her life when she was younger, and she hated it. People were so rude. Employees were so cutthroat. A lot of them were lazy. Oh, you end your night with me? Okay, Ken. So you go to bed right after you get off the live stream, huh? I don't go to bed usually right after the live stream. Not normally. I have a couple of times, but normally I don't. I usually do other things, get ready for the next one, or I've actually done some. Well, months ago, I do some videos late at night when I was at the other studio. I would do a video later at night after the live stream. You're going to bed, Caitlin? Okay. We didn't say we was going to bed yet. I see. All right, Caitlin. Well, if you're leaving, have a good night, sweetie. I appreciate you coming. You can text Trinity and tell her that she needs to get her butt back online because we're going to have to thrash her if she don't. Well, it's pretty busy here in Florida. I think it's just It's just kind of a little bit of a cutthroat business. A little bit, I think. It's just. I think there's a lot of jealousy involved with management and stuff like that. And sometimes you tend to get managers. They've actually had some good managers here. One or two good ones. The last one before this one was really good. Caitlin loved him to death, but she's had a couple of them that were really egotistical, and they didn't ask. They ordered you to do stuff, not ask you to do stuff. There's a difference. It's how you treat your employees that makes the difference. You know, sure you're the boss, but you could still. It's how you word it. And then you've got some that threaten to fire you all the time or write you up all the time. You cannot work a job when you're being threatened all the time with a dismissal. It just makes you want to quit. Oh, you're working for your landlord a little bit, Ken? Well, that's good. Well, it probably helps save on the rent a little bit. I've done that before. Of course, I do like handyman stuff a lot anyway. I have all my life. And if I was renting a place and they wanted something done, I'd be, yeah, I'll do it. Take it off the rent. Oh, yeah. If I have the time. But, you're in a position, Recon, I'm sure you understand. It's how you ask somebody. And if you're just a manager, you should always acknowledge your employee doing a good job. You should always acknowledge that you noticed that they're doing well, or you notice they didn't feel well, or whatever. You still gotta give a little bit of individual attention here and there, and nobody wants to have people walk up to them and get in their face and say, "I need you to get over there and do that right now." There's just no need to do that. I mean, now if they're a defiant employee and they just won't do any work, well, maybe you may have to do something similar to that. But I mean, you try the nice way first. But if you have to yell at your employees and stuff like that, either the employee is a bad employee, they need to be gone, or you're a bad manager. Because contrary to popular belief, there are bad managers out there. It's not always the employees. I've seen a lot of times where it was bad management. That Caitlin had a bad manager 2 managers ago. That manager was an older guy that, well, he's actually younger than me, but always had a bad attitude. And he smoked, which I'm thinking he gets smoke as I do, but he would take smoke breaks constantly outside. He'd be outside constantly for a lot of time when he needed to be inside doing things. And he was making his other employees do a lot of his jobs. And in fact, he finally got fired because he had employees actually clocking him out 2 hours after he already left the store, which, that's totally illegal. And they finally got caught. And they finally fired him. Yes, Ken. How did you know? It's cold, for sure. And you know something sad? I actually have one of them little coffee warmers. You plug it in. I can't find it anywhere. I used to have one. I think one of my grandchildren bought me one, and it's disappeared. You just plug it into the AC and you keep your cup on there. It keeps it hot all the time. I've had a couple of them. I guess I never really used them. They disappeared. They're gone. Now that the studio is out here, far away from the RV, I wish I actually had one to keep my coffee warm. Yeah, yelling at employees is not really. It doesn't solve anything. It just causes more chaos. Yelling at employees. Exactly. They're going to give you the same respect that you give them. Yeah, because if you get them really unhappy with their job, they're not going to perform well at their job. They're not going to want to be there. Then all of a sudden you'll start getting employees that are calling in sick a lot. They're not really sick. They're just sick of working there with you, and they may actually be looking for another job. Now you've got to treat them with the same respect that they give you. And you got to make sure you compliment them. If people's doing a good job, tell them. Let them know that you appreciate them. That's not the corporate's responsibility. That's the manager's responsibility. They need to make sure people know, that you appreciate them working hard, especially if they're working days that are not their normal days. Say they're working their day off, coming in for somebody else. Thank them. Yeah, man, football season getting ready to start. Yeah, we may be listening. It depends on who's playing. We might be missing a live or two here and there when certain teams are playing. I don't know. Or a different time. I don't know. I've been thinking about putting a damn TV out here. I should. If I get, I don't know if I got the room for one or not. I've actually got a bigger TV that's not even in the camper. It's a 38 inch or 32 inch or something. I might could fit it up above my desk here on the top shelf, but it would be kind of awkward looking at it all the time. Could run a cable to it. Well, if they're vets, most likely they've been taught how to respect their superiors and probably act accordingly. But even the service, I remember a lot of the officers were respectful of their people under them. There was a few that weren't, but a lot of them were. If you treated them well, they treated you well. Yeah, football season starts. I'm going to wish I had a TV, even without the sound. I don't really see anywhere to really put one. Maybe up on the ceiling. You guys, we'll be doing it live and you see me up here like this, looking at the ceiling all the time. Well, luckily, she likes some of the same teams that I do for NFL anyway. My wife does like Green Bay. Well, I used to watch the Patriots a lot too, and she tolerated them, but um, she likes the Seattle Seahawks, and there's a couple other teams that she likes too. For college ball, she mainly likes the Seminoles. She'll tolerate watching the Gators because they're right here. But I also like Auburn and Alabama. Eh, she don't really care all that much about them. But she doesn't. She doesn't seem to mind if I watch them because she knows I'm a fan of those teams. And I like Tampa Bay, of course. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gotta watch them. And there's one other team my wife liked too. I can't remember who it was. Seattle Seahawks and one other one. I don't remember now. It was just the quarterbacks. She happened to like the quarterbacks. Don't know why, but she did. The Saints, New Orleans Saints. She liked them too. So, sometimes there's a little bit of a rivalry between my wife and I because Seattle or the Saints would be playing the Patriots or someone that I liked or whatever. Or like when Brady was playing for the Patriots and they had to play Green Bay. Of course, I had to go with the Patriots because I like Brady. I like Aaron Rodgers too a lot. It was a tough game for me because I like both teams very well at the time. So, I mean, either way, whoever won, I was fine with either way. But my wife and I did have a bit of a rivalry then because she was Aaron Rodgers all the way, Green Bay. Yeah, he always will too. He always will. I'm not sure if I keep seeing and reading crap about Aaron Rodgers staying with Green Bay. As far as I know, he's still going to be the quarterback for Green Bay, but there's been a lot of ifs about it. I know he's got one hell of a contract. Um, that's maybe the only thing that's holding him there. But I was afraid he was going to be gone this year. So I got a funny feeling this may be the last year in Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to have a problem finding another team. That's for damn sure. I mean, he's one of the best football quarterbacks there is. Yeah. Any team out there would be stupid not to get Aaron Rodgers. Of course, they're going to pay up the ass for him, but that's the way it goes. I'm also kind of interested in watching the Jacksonville Jaguars a little bit this year. I'm not that big of a fan of them, even though they're a Florida team, only because Tim Tebow is in the Jaguars. If he makes the regular team as halfback or whatever he's playing, halfback, I think, yeah, tight end. I'll just be interested in watching Tim Tebow to see if he could really transition from quarterback to tight end. Personally, I think he probably will. He's a big boy. He's a strong boy. And I think he may be fine. I was shocked that he decided to go ahead and play baseball, but he just wanted to be into sports, I guess. So he did that for quite a while, and let's see what happens when he gets back into football. All right, guys, it's been over an hour, so let's go ahead and shut it down for the night. Unless you guys got something you really want to talk about. But it's been an hour. It's been great. Cameras have been working great. I know we're lagging some here. I can see that by looking at my phone. But hasn't been too bad of a session tonight. Wish we just had a lot more people, that's all. But anyway, guys, have a great night. Recon, I hope you get feeling better. I know you're tired and everything, so hopefully you get feeling better. And tomorrow you'll be a lot more perky. Maybe winning that money, it will help you. You're going to bed, huh? All right, well, have a good night, Recon. Ken, have a good night. Y'all stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night, guys.